Hello everyone. Welcome to Power Automate Desktop Training Tutorial. My name is Vishal Bamlani, and in our session today, we will learn about the files actions provided by Power Automate Desktop. The files actions that we will cover in today's session are first, read text from file, and second, write text to file. Let's start with our first action, which is read text from file. So as the name suggests, it reads the contents of a text file. It has three properties. First is file path, second, store content as, and third, encoding. I've mentioned their individual descriptions for you all to refer. Let's see how we can read a text file using Power Automate Desktop. Under Actions pane, search for read text file, drag and drop this action. So the first parameter is file path, which allows us to select the text file we want to read. Let's select using the file icon. Second property is store content as, which gives us two options. First is single text value, and second is list. So if we want to read the entire data in a single variable, we can go with the first option. Whereas if we want each line of our data as a separate item in a list, we can go with the second option. So as per our need, we can choose any of these options. Let's go with the first one for now. Then third property is encoding. It gives us multiple options like system default, UTF-8, Unicode, and ASCII. You can choose it accordingly. And the output of this section is stored in a variable file contents. Now, as you can see, since we selected single text value, the variable here is a text variable. Whereas if we select list, it will be a list of text values. Let's go and change it again and save this action. So let's run this flow. The execution is complete. In our flow variables, let me open the variable for you. And you can see we had two lines of data in this text file. And since the entire data is in a single variable, you can see file contents is a text value. Let's close this. Now let's write this data down onto our next text file using write text to file. So it helps us to write or append the text to a file. It has few properties like file path, text to write, append new line, if file exists, and encoding. I've mentioned their individual description for you all to refer. Let's see how we can write the data onto a text file using Power Automate Desktop. Under Actions pane, search for write text to file, drag and drop this action. So the first parameter is file path. So here you have to select the file path onto which we have to write this data down. So let's give it a new name. So let's make it a new file, sample1.txt. So this is an empty file which will be created. Under text to write, let's select the variable which contains the data, which is file contents. Then third property is append new line. So for this, let's assume that this text file has 10 lines of data already present. Now, if we want to write this data down onto the 11th line, then we have to enable this option. Whereas if we disable it, it will continue to write this data on 10th line itself. Let us enable this. Then another property is if file exists, it gives us two options. First is overwrite existing content, and second is append content. So let's go with the first one for now. And then last property is encoding. It gives us multiple options like system default, UTF-8, Unicode, UTF-8, and then Unicode again, and then ASCII. By default, Unicode is selected here. Let's save this action and run this flow. The execution is complete. Let's check our sample1.txt file. As you can see, It has written the data down for us. Now let me close this and make some change in our write to text file action. This time, we'll append the content and save it. Let's see what change it brings out. Let's run this flow. The flow execution is complete. Let's check our text file again. As you can see, since we used append content, it has appended the data onto next line. I hope you have understood these two actions. So this marks the end of our module. Thank you so much for watching this video. I would request you all to subscribe my channel for more videos. Also, I have listed down some suggested videos as well as the ones next in line for your ease. Cheers.